What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Snowy Kurama, and I am your coach of the Season 5 Chicago White Sox for the WPF, World Pokemon Federation. And this is Week 3. I'm playing the Connecticut Cubchoos, coached by jacrispymcrib. And his team's scary as shit, but we're going to do the best we can. So if you guys are happy and excited for a new battle in the WPF, press that like button, hit that subscribe, comment down below all your comments that you have on the team and whatnot. Maybe what your favorite play was this battle. And let's just go into the team. I don't remember... Oh, yeah, that's right. We're both 1-1. I believe I am 1 differential point ahead of the Connecticut Cubchoos. So yeah, Connecticut Cubchoos, that's their name. I don't know, these names aren't sticking in my head as much as the PDL, because that one I had to like analyze and shit. But yeah, 1 differential point ahead of them, so this battle right here definitely does determine who is going to stay ahead of the other. But this is their team right here. We've got Corviknight, Staraptor, Mienshao, Runerigus, Type Null, Zebstrika, Toxapex, Typhlosion, Quagsire, Zapdos, and Nidoking. Now, my team does not like you, and I definitely do not like you. And Toxtricity messes up his whole last team, with the exception of you. So, not great, but I think that we've done some decent prep this week, and for once I'm not doing the pre-battle part and the post-battle part at the same time. So I personally don't know what the hell is going to happen, for once. But I think that I've prepped enough to be able to do some nice damage this week. We have Eggy's Arbalissi, a completely different set this time around. We've got a more offensive set with Soft Boiled, Calm Mind, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt. Bolt Beam does wonders against his team that has lots of ground types and lots of flying types. So, Calm Mind will help us get our special attack up and hit and tank some more special hits, of course. We've got 108 speed so that we can outspeed the Corviknight and not get body pressed and stalled out with Roost. We have max defense, of course, and the 60 special attack here allows us to 2-hit KO the Staraptor with either Ice Beam or Thunderbolt. I think it's Ice Beam that I looked at more specifically. So we can 2-hit KO that, and then the rest is just an HP, so... That's Blissey. Hopefully we can do what we've been doing with this thing. Next up is Sound of Music, our Toxtricity. Life Orb this time around instead of a Spec set. We have Boom Burst, Overdrive, Toxic, and Hex. We have Toxic and Hex as a combination to Oko a Runerigus. If it's statused, which is why, we have the Toxic. We have enough speed here to outspeed something, I don't remember. There's something that we outspeed. It gets up to 246. Who is it? It's something glared, isn't it? Not you. Believe it was you, but we don't have glare on the team anymore. But that's neither here nor there. That's the speed set that we have. Oh no, it was to outspeed something that was worth outspeeding, because there's lots of shit on this team that wasn't worth outspeeding. Speed crept. Wasn't you, was it you? I sped crept something. Something was crept. It might have been Type Null, but I'm not too sure. I'll try to find it later on. We sped crept something with the speed stat. I don't remember what it is, but we have the rest in HP and defense just to keep ourselves at an odd number of HP. Sorry for not knowing what I was creeping with it, but if I find it, you'll know. Like I said earlier, this thing messes up my opponent with Overdrive, with the exception of Runerigus, which is why we have Toxic and Hex. And then Boom Burst is just, freaking Punk Rock boosted, Life Orb boosted. It's going to do lots of damage to pretty much everything else that he has, so that's really cool. We have Big Nut, our Metal, of course. We have a Spadef set with enough speed to outspeed the Toxapex. Double Iron Bash, Earthquake, Thunder Punch, and Substitute. The 3 attacking moves we have is nice coverage for his team. Double Iron Bash is, of course, it's a given. Earthquake is here for the Toxapex as well as the Typhlosion and any other ground weaknesses that might want to switch in. Sub is here, so a Metal behind a Sub is just a monster. And then Thunder Punch is for the electric weaknesses like the Staraptor and the Toxapex as well. Can go ahead and try to look here again. Corviknight, yeah, that's a big thing. We want to hit Corviknight, and Thunder Punch is just the best way to do it. Up next is Havoc. This used to be our Sandaconda, but this thing better deals with Mienshao. So we have Havoc, our Rotom, first coming onto the field. This week we have Will-O-Wisp, Hex, Pain Split, and Volt Switch. We have Will-O-Wisp, of course, so we can neuter his physical attackers like Staraptor and Mienshao, as well as anything else, but those two are definitely big ones that come to mind that this team does not like. Hex is, here for ghost moves. Again, it does a lot to Runerigus. It doesn't knock it out like Toxtricity does, but it'll do enough. And then Pain Split, getting back some HP, whittling down my opponent's Mons. And Volt Switch here actually does like 70 max to Staraptor, like 50 something min. I think maybe 60 something. I don't know. I just know that it does a big old chunk to Staraptor on the Switch. So there's that. Cobra Berry and this HP stat allows us to take like no more than 30% from anything that Mienshao will want to go for, and then we can just Will-O-Wisp it back so that it doesn't do any damage to us ever again, which would be very nice for the team, of course. And then we go on to Slut Cloud, our Whimsicott. We have Ring Target as our item to trick or switcheroo away, rather, and Moonblast is our move so that we can hit Mienshao. We have enough speed to outspeed it, barring a Scarfed set, and then the rest is an HP so we can take as much hits as we possibly can. Defog is here, of course, just in case he sets up the hazards. We don't have hazards on our team this time, but I don't believe we really need them, per se. Trick Room is here so that Metal can come in and just smack a bitch, as well as, well, maybe not you if Corv's out, but maybe you if something super duper fast is out. I don't know, there's a lot of varying speed tiers on his team. There's lots of base 30s, but there's also the base 105 Mienshao and 100 Staraptor, and then like 110 or something Typhlosion. So who really knows? Hopefully this thing will come through. Ring Target is here to switcheroo whatever item the Corviknight has so that Metal can have the option to Earthquake it, and so that it doesn't, lefties recover and stuff. It'll make Corviknight just a little bit easier to deal with. Plus, Corviknight is the obvious switch on a Whimsicott, so yeah, get rid of your item. Last but not least, we have our Specs Keldeo, Pony Island. We have Scald's Secret Sword, Hidden Power Grass, and Hydro Pump. Hidden Power Grass is here for the Quagsire. In a mock battle I did, this thing just O-code the Quagsire, so that's a nice thing to have. Hydro Pump is, stronger in case we need that stronger water move. Scald can burn things, and Secret Sword does quite a bit to something. I know its dual stab is pretty nice in this matchup. I know Hydro Pump does just about everything to Zapdos, so we could revenge a Zapdos if it's got some chip damage. I think it does like 79 or something. And I don't know, Specs Keldeo just does lots of damage to anything regardless of what you think you are. So yeah, it's a no-brainer to bring. So that is the team. Let's just get into the battle. And we are back for the battle. This shit took a long ass time, but I think you'll find out why as soon as I press this play button. But against this here team, we have Mienshao, Corviknight, Typhlosion, Zapdos, Type Null, and Toxapex. I was planning for all of these mons, I guess, except for Type Null. I didn't see Type Null coming. And I was not actually super sure about Corviknight considering that I had a Toxapex, but it is what it is. Let's press this here play button. I believe I started Keldeo because I had no idea what else to do, plus Keldeo does lots of damage to his team besides Toxapex. I was thinking about predicting the Toxapex, but I didn't want to just predict turn 1, so I just went ahead and Hydro Pumped right into the thing in front of me, which turned out to be Toxapex. We also look at this damage. I was thinking it was max Spadef. Turns out it wasn't max, but it did have some Spadef in it. I went out into Toxtricity because I thought, it's pretty mid-ground. It's freaking poison type, so poison moves won't do much, and water type moves won't do much either because I'm electric. And it turns out it's knockoff, so it knocked off. What was my item here? Was it the Life Orb set? Yeah, it knocks off my Life Orb. Because I believe, this team, I believe, had the Runerigus. So I was Toxic Hex. Yeah. So that's really sucks for my Toxtricity because there's no more item on that shit anymore. He goes out into Type Null. I do a little bit of damage with Overdrive, which is fine. I go out to my Metal to take whatever type of move that it would want to do. I actually had to do a little bit of a search on Type Null because I had no idea what the damn thing did. I haven't seen Type Null used since Gen 7. Like earlier, I guess. I don't know, I'm not really down in the lower tiers or have even seen this thing played in draft. So I just kind of went out in the Metal because I had no idea really what else this thing wanted to do. I thought it was safe. So Hidden Power Ground it looks to be, which was a really good play because, well, not really a really good play, but it's better that my Toxtricity didn't take all that damage. Uses Thunder Wave, which isn't too bad considering that Metal's slow as shit anyway, but Paras would suck. I get off a Substitute because I figured that would be a safe thing to do. I didn't think this thing could do a lot to me. So I just Double Iron Bash here. It does not too much considering that it has the Violite, but then this little dance here happens again where I do nothing to the Toxapex with my Keldeo's freaking Hydro Pump. Knocks off again is what I figured that it would do, so I thought what better mon to go into than my already knocked off Toxtricity. I believe I Boom Bursted here. Please tell me I Boom Bursted here. No, I ended up Toxicking this thing, which was better than actually using Boom Burst or Overdrive, considering the damage that I did to it earlier. Yeah, I did 26 only, so Toxic was not bad at play at all. Then I overdrive this thing. I think when I calced out that damage, I didn't take off my Life Orb, so it's 1%. Definitely my fault. I could have switched out into like Blissey or something. I don't know, just naming them on. Zapdos comes out. I just go Blissey here because when in doubt, special attacker. Here we are. Volt Switch does about 10, which is fine. I believe this is a different Blissey than what I usually ran. I'm trying to remember my sets as I go because I made the last part maybe a week ago. But anyway, I know I'm Bolt Beam. CM Bolt Beam with Soft Boiled. I go out to Whimsicott here because I wasn't convinced that he would go close combat like he did here, although the better play would have been to go into my Rotom. I figured, you know, I have a ghost type, why the hell would he close combat? That was my thought process, and it didn't work out for me at all because Whimsicott took damage that it did not need to take. So then he goes Corviknight, which is what I figured, and then we go ahead and give it the ring target, which means Melmetal's Earthquake now can damage this thing pretty damn well. I go out to said Melmetal. He just Brave Birds me there, taking no types of damage at all. And then U-turns right here. They probably, yeah, they went to Zapdos. I just Thunder Punched here because I figured they would go into Zapdos, and I thought that an Earthquake would just not be very good, considering that any chip damage is a good idea. Plus, I got the information that this guy was Rocky Helmet rather than like leftovers or any other item. I got to Blissey here because that's my #1 switch. It goes ahead and does 12 to me with the Volt Switch. Mienshao is back here again. This is where he does his mid-ground play of Knockoff, which it might have been okay to stay in with Blissey considering. No, it would not have. What am I thinking? Better play would have probably been... No, I think that's what I had to do, is take it with Rotom. Culver Berry's knocked off, which is just fine. Well, not really knocked off, but yeah, consumed. Will-O-Wisp goes ahead and does its thing on this Mienshao, and then Rotom did its job, so it's gone now. I could have definitely done better by switching into this Rotom earlier on the close combat, but I wasn't convinced, like I said, that it would do it. You never know in draft, really. And then Whimsicott comes out. I tried for my Moonblast, I believe. Yeah. And this thing takes not shit from it. I go out to Melmetal because Melmetal will also not take shit from it. But the thing that sucks is this thing is now getting chipped over and over and over, which is not great, especially when everyone likes to bring their helmets. Keldeo comes out here because I thought that this thing wouldn't go for a Brave Bird, considering that it does nothing to Melmetal, the thing in front of it. So I just keep on switching and stuff because honestly, I was on the back foot here. Rotom was kind of gone. Whimsicott took lots of damage. Melmetal was paralyzed and no item here. Toxtricity had no item here, so it was really just a downhill spiral at this point, which is really unfortunate. Keep switching in my Toxapex, which is, you know, definitely what would happen. My thought process on hydro pumping there on the Zapdos is Zapdos was in range, or is in range as of right now, to my hydro pump, assuming no Spadef. So I thought it would be okay. Continues to knock off, continues to get this chip. I Toxiced here because I figured it'd switch out into something else. I kind of forgot that type Null was there. I should have definitely just Boom Bursted. But that's neither here nor there. I got ribbed into already about this game. But it's definitely good information for the future to have. The Toxtricity goes down to Hidden Power, which I was not expecting at all, this thing to have Hidden Power. That's pretty nice tech. Blissey comes out because I am baiting the close combat. This thing goes ahead and just knocks off, which was interesting. But we have some chip with the Rocky Helmet, which was also not bad at all. Corviknight comes out, we see a Moonblast. No, we see Switcheroo, so we have the ring target once again, which very disheartening. Blissey takes damage, I believe. Nothing else really exciting happens besides I try to get damage off on Mons like fast and as soon as possible. I Calm Mind here, trying to do some more damage. I guess I'll just interject whenever I see something that's different. Ice Beam hits the Apex for nothing. I figured that it would be better if the Zapdos stayed in, but I definitely was thinking about Thunderbolting just in case of the switch, which I definitely should have done considering this thing. I don't think Thunderbolt would have done all that much anyway. It probably was a 3-hit KO if if that. Metal. That's how I cover up my misspeakings. More chip, fun times. I pretty much just get fucked this whole time. Not much more to really see here. In a bad position. Everything that I have is gone, with the exception of Keldeo, which the answer for is nice and healthy. Has Haze just even get rid of my Calm Mind boosts, which is not at all a bad idea considering that I have been running Acid Armor, Melmetal, and I have access to Hydreigon as well. And it just so happened to work out for Calm Mind Blissey, who is now Toxic, but I believe that I had the wrong ability on there. I was supposed to be Serene Grace, but I kept Natural Cure for whatever reason, but it worked. That was actually not great. I'm gonna go back to that. That was also quite the nail in the coffin for me. This Whimsicott here, it was supposed to be able to knock this thing out, but I did not take into account of it actually being Assault Vest. So Moonblast came just short of doing that, and then the Blaze Kick comes in, rid of the Whimsicott. So that wasn't... I don't think there was much I could definitely at this part of the game. Had I done better in the early game and was not as cautious and maybe just went balls to the wall, trusted my Mons sets a little bit better, then we wouldn't have been here. But that's a lesson to learn for the other time. I believe that's probably my biggest fault as of late, is I'm thinking too much into what my opponent could do rather than thinking about what I could do to them. Must be why I got last in the last regular season of the PDL, or at least part of it, and then why this game went the way it did. But well, we definitely have enough weeks to come back. Of course, I believe the season's 10 weeks. It might be, yeah, it's 10 weeks. So the season's 10 weeks. This is week 3. Week 4, I'm going to be doing my battle here in a couple of days. No, I believe it's tomorrow, actually, as I'm recording this. It's Friday, the 24th as of now. So we'll be able to get into that. There's not... Oh, it's ended. I just about pressed hyper fast because there's nothing else to see. So, yeah, that was my battle against jacrispymcrib, I believe it was, the Connecticut Cubchoos. Yeah, that's what it is. So, learned a lot this game. Definitely didn't like it. That's why it took so long. So I had to get over this loss, but I think we have enough time to get back into it. And we're just here for fun, you know. Not trying to prove much besides get more experiencing more draft stuff so I can bring back to my own league. And yeah, that's really it. Got a next video's coming out, whatever it comes out, probably like Monday. I could see the earliest, but don't quote me on that being the actual day, because this quarantine business really messes with your motivation to do much, which is another reason why this video took so long to get out. But keep a lookout for week 4's game, as well as, I think that's all I'm gonna say for now. Got some other things in the works, of course. But like this video if you haven't already, subscribe if you are new here and you want to see some more WPF and other things that I'm doing here on the channel. And with all that being said and more, this has been your boy, Snowy Kurama. See you in the next video. Goodbye.